definitely click on that like button and share on Facebook and YouTube and all over the internet if you could. At any rate, we are time to get down to the infamous Way or No Way. This segment is still open for sponsorship, so if you or anybody you know is looking to sponsor, send them our way. You hit me up at brandon.combs at manhourradio.com, and I can get you pointed in the right direction for some sponsorship. Boys, are you guys ready for Way or No Way?
Way. Oh, wait, we're not playing yet?
No, we're not
just
playing yet,
practicing.
you idiot.
I'm just practicing.
All right, guys. So we all saw that the Mavericks got knocked out, and I wasn't expecting that. I thought the Clippers were dead in the water, and the Clippers came back, won that series. So I ask you guys this: the Mavericks will not be able to win a championship with Luka Doncic.
No way. I think he is legitimately one piece away. I'm not sure what that piece is. I'll see what they do this offseason. But I think they are one piece away from being a serious title contender. Like somebody that we'll look at and be like, okay, these people could take out the Lakers. These people could take out the Nets. Somebody, one of the top dogs. So, I mean, he was a part of 77 points today. He either scored or assisted on 77 points. I mean, he is ridiculous. I saw a meme the other day that was like, Luka Doncic has a "Hi, my name is Greg" haircut and a offensive lineman number, and he'll still put up 45 on your favorite NBA team. Like, it's just, he is a different animal. So absolutely no way. Luka Doncic, if Dirk Nowitzki was able to come away with one, especially against the Miami Heat, believe me, Luka Doncic will come away with at least one.
Tori?
I say also no way. This is a team that has not given up their draft capital yet. They actually have a ton of cap room yet. Doncic has not cost them an arm and a leg yet. The big thing is, I think for them, is if they are going to keep Porzingis around, that's kind of a big decision for them this offseason. The other part of it is Dallas is a desirable destination because of Luka now, though. So that alone is going to bring players in that'll probably take a little bit more of a team-friendly deal. They will give up a little just to win a little bit more. And that can go a long way. It is the way the NBA now, like, pay your three biggest stars and fill it in with veterans and role players from there on out.
Yeah,
you mentioned he hasn't costed him an arm and a leg. I know. I think the exact same thing he has not. But the biggest thing too, when his contract deadline does come, Luka, and I could be speaking way too early on this, and every single NBA player loves the money. They're all like that. So I could be speaking too early, but I will say I don't think Luka will be the kind of person to come through and take all this money. I think he'll take a deal that will better benefit his team. He'll still get his money, don't worry. But I think he will take a deal that will give him and his team an opportunity to expand and allow more people to come in.
I guarantee you that is false, because he will take a max deal. That cap goes up. You know why those players like that take max deals? Because that's how you keep getting more money. So that's it. It'll never happen. The Players Association alone will push him to take a max deal, because that helps push that cap number higher and higher every single year.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, this is definitely no way. I hate to go all the way across the board, and I really wanted to go way on this one just to argue with you guys a little bit. But look, I think Luka Doncic is probably a top 3 player in the game right now. Like, Luka Doncic is that damn good. And in a couple years, he could be the face of the NBA. Who knows? But I think that they just need to do a little bit better job putting some pieces around Luka, build around Luka, give Luka that max deal, build around him, and see what they can do. I definitely think that the Mavericks are going to win the title with Luka Doncic in the near future. So let's talk about the team that... Go ahead.
I was gonna say with an owner like Cuban like that is all about trying to build that team. Like he always has been from the day he bought the team. That is probably the best position that any player can be in, is having him as an owner.
Well,
like he's a player's owner.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, people want to play for Mark. They want to play with Luka. But also a big thing that makes Dallas such a big free agent market is the fact that there's no income tax in Texas. So whatever you make. You don't lose, Whereas if you go to some other states, you lose a good chunk of it.
Bo says the new Space Jam should have starred Luka. I like it. All right, so let's talk about the team that beat the Mavericks. Way or no way, the Clippers got motivated by a Lakers loss because they felt like they actually had a shot.
I think so.
No.
I think way. I think
I'm
way
going
because
no way.
the Clippers. I think way because the Clippers have been historically terrible in the playoffs. Historically horrible. It doesn't matter if they have Kawhi and PG. It doesn't matter if they have a prime Chris Paul and a prime Blake Griffin and a prime DeAndre Jordan. That doesn't matter. They will find a way to screw it up. But I gotta say, they made it out of the first round. They beat the Dallas Mavericks. And here's the deal. With LeBron out of it in the West, I know the Suns are on fire, but with LeBron out of it, it's anybody's game at this point. It is anybody's to go up there and take. The Clippers could absolutely do it. The Suns could absolutely do it. So I think it does. I think it absolutely motivates them because they are no longer the worst team in their city left. They are now the best team in LA that's left. So they've got LeBron finally out of the way. They don't have to worry about him creeping up over their shoulder or anything. They can finally breathe and relax for a second and be able to move forward. So I think this absolutely motivates them. Now, how they handle the motivation and will they go on to win a championship maybe or go to the finals, I don't know. I don't think they will go on to win it all, but I think it most definitely does motivate them.
Joy?
No way. And you are completely wrong on this. Wyatt, the Clippers have been around for a long time. They've always been a terrible organization. It is not a proud winning history in that organization.
No.
So the motivation they need is we've been terrible our whole existence. That's true. It does not matter. They want to win one just to say, hey, look, we know we sucked all this time. It'd be like the Sacramento Kings winning a title. They just they're the lovable losers. And look at the last team to go through something like that was Golden State. Golden State, outside of when they had run TMC back in the early 90s, were just not a good franchise. They were not a well-run franchise. The Clippers, unfortunately, have just always been that way. And even back then, around that same time, they had Danny Manning. They actually had pretty good players, and they were still a terrible franchise. And they're still a terrible franchise today, even with Kawhi and PG-13. The motivation should be, let's not be terrible. It's not the Lakers. It's not everything. It's the stigma of that organization that has held them back. And I don't care who you are. Psychologically, at some point, that affects you. That you're like, well, that's just the way things have been here. It's like, a toxic.
You eventually just kind of grow to believe, and you've learned it and believed it for so long that it just becomes a losing culture.
Yeah. Absolutely, 110%.
I just think the fact that they made it out of the first round should be a motivator for them. Like, hey, look, we did it. Like, we beat a good team. Like, it is. I agree,
but it's not because it has nothing to do with the Lakers, though. It is. They beat a really good Dallas team. I don't think the Lakers play a factor in it because if you don't fear them, what does that matter? The thing is you focus on the opponent at hand. You're not thinking about what are the Lakers doing.
I don't know though, because you got to think about it this way too. The Lakers have been part of the Clippers losing culture. Like when you look at the Clippers, they are arguably the worst American sports franchise in the playoffs, or one of the worst when it comes to so close but yet so far. They can never make it out of the first round. I don't think they don't have one single NBA championship. Do they? They might have. Do they have one?
I do not know. I don't think they have.
No, they have none. No. And then they look across the gymnasium, and you've got the Los Angeles Lakers, who are arguably the greatest American sports franchise, arguably the greatest sports franchise in the world. I'll just go ahead and say that. I mean,
you can't say that because you got hockey that's a worldwide sport. You've got soccer that's a worldwide sport.
The Lakers are other world renowned. They've got to be. They're a top 3 sports organization across the world. They've got to be. They have to be. The only one When I think of like Europe, I mean, I guess the top one over there would probably be Barcelona for soccer,
Barcelona
and then
or Manchester.
Real Madrid.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, England's but I don't know, man. The Lakers are a staple of the world.
No, they're a staple of the United States. They're a staple of United States basketball. They are known worldwide, but nobody over there's like, in Europe's like, I'm gonna go play, especially if you're like British. They're not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go be a NBA player. No, they're gonna be like, get me on the pitch. I want to be on the soccer field, or for them for football. Like, I'm gonna be a football player.
Yeah, look, I go no way on this as well. I don't think that the Lakers were that feared. I don't think that the Lakers were a 7th seed. The Lakers had shown that they were beatable all season long. So to say now that you don't, that the Clippers were more motivated now that the Lakers are out of it, they thought that they had I disagree. And you say that, now it's anybody's game. Why? Because LeBron's out of it. I think all season long they proved it was anybody's game because LeBron was beatable all year long. It wasn't just this last, he just had a bad. No, they were the 7th seed heading into the playoffs. They had to play playing games just to get into the playoffs. And so I don't think anybody really feared the Lakers. And I think that the Clippers, beat the Mavericks and they were motivated because they're a good team. All right, guys. So last one here. Way or no way, the Wyatt Williams will ever be on time to anything ever.
Tori? Oh, I'm going first. I'm going first on this one. Hands out. No way. No way will Wyatt ever be on time for anything. So, Wyatt, you are perpetually late. So my sister's kind of the same way. So what we have what we call there's 4 time zones. We've expanded it to 5 for my sister. So because we have Stacy standard time because she's late to everything. So we're gonna have to make it 6 time zones and have Wyatt standard time. Just so it'd be like you said. So whatever it is, we're gonna have to tell him it's 2 hours earlier. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm going there too. Like there is no way Wyatt will ever be on time to anything. This guy's gonna be late to his own funeral. This guy is going to be late to his wedding. Nikki, I'm telling you, if you ever plan a wedding with this man, you plan the wedding for like 3, maybe even 6 p.m. But you tell him that the wedding is at noon. And you don't ever tell him the real time of the wedding because then he might only be like 15 minutes late by that point. So don't ever tell him.
It's true. And guys,
So Wyatt...